The following is a Productions original series.
Hello and welcome to Walk and Roll Live. I'm Doug Vincent, joined by Addie Rich. Our podcast is dedicated to amplifying the voices of the disability community. We do this by featuring individuals with disabilities who share their stories, as well as learn about organizations that provide programs, services, and support to the community. I am a polio survivor of 68 years, crutch and brace user for years, and transitioned into the wheelchair over the last 20 years or so. Hello, Addie.
Hello. I have cerebral palsy. I am kind of in a transition phase of going to my wheelchair.
Yeah.
Use my walker when I go out most of the time now. It's been a change over time. I think when you're little, you don't know how crazy you look when you walk. And the older you get, the more you feel it. And so you have to kind of use devices and, I don't want to be that person in the liquor store that falls into the whole shelf of booze and has to buy it. So,
you know what I realized is that, I'm inside my body. I know that seems obvious. And I'm looking out, from my little perch here, looking out. And just like everybody, I don't see anybody disabled very often.
Right.
Other than myself,
Right.
So what happened to me over the course of years, and I finally kind of realized this, is in my mind, I'm walking like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You
and I have talked about that.
But then I go by a store with a big window, and I look up and that's what I look like walking.
Yeah, or an elevator. Elevators get me every time because I'm like, who is that flamingo? Oh, now I just feel more stable with my walker, and like I say, I'm not rich enough to buy the whole liquor store if I were to trip into it.
Yeah.
Balance is, I don't know if it's age or disability or a combination of both, but balance has changed for me over the years, and so,
I'm sure there's some scientific reasons. It's the micro muscles that control the fine tuning of your walk and all that. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I don't like to admit it, but I am aging. Even though you're
I think I've told the story
27.
here. Yeah. I think I've told the story here where, the telltale signs that now I look back on, now I understand that was the beginning of the decline. Whereas, I was saying, my crutches wear out and they're shorter now. And just, I had all these excuses, which to me weren't excuses. They were just real solutions to whatever this problem was.
It was a real conundrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then when I fixed them, nothing changed. And then I had to start realizing. All right. So how was your week? Anything neat happen?
Good. The weather was really good. The weather is really good. All the daffodils out.
Mine are popping. The green has come up, but flowers haven't come up quite yet.
Oh, the daffodils are out. The daffodil flowers are in full display, and my husband loves working outside. And so over the years, we have kind of planted daffodil bulbs, but I don't know if you know this, but they propagate over time. So you might have put them here, you put 3 here, but now you have 16 because it's been 5 years. So it's kind of nice because they kind of bloom and wave. And he brings them inside, and then I get to see them because, of course, I was thinking it was cool to decorate the street for people going by, but now how do I see that far down my driveway?
So you have them in buckets, or pots?
Well, he brought them in. He'll bring them in vases, but there's so many now he can
cut them and bring them in vases
and not kill my lawn.
Their life is so short too.
Oh my God, I know, but they smell so good.
A couple 3 days, just the whole, all of them will be a week or two, and it's all over. It's sad.
I know, and my tulips are lagging. Not that you asked, but I only have 1 tulip out, so I need to go cheer on my tulips.
My daffodils are I never planted one.
Okay.
I've been here 23, going on 24 years this year.
Okay.
And they're still popping up every year.
Nice.
And I kind of forget about them because they're, they're gone after
a certain amount of time.
I
know. That's what happens to me because I'm I'm going to dig some up and we're going to move some around. Then I forget where they are once they're flowers.
Boom, they come up.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So that was my week. What about yours?
Well, Phil and I went on another car show run with his Galaxy. He's got a 68 Galaxy that was customized, and everything doesn't have the dash it was born with and all of that. Yeah, so We
Nice.
went to another one. That was nice. Beautiful day. So we enjoyed that. Went back to the scene of the crime, the IEDC meeting where I went over and cracked my skull.
Yeah, where you scared people?
Yes. And that worked. Everything worked out fine. Didn't hurt anybody. Didn't kill myself. So we're all good.
Amazing.
And I did get they got a hold of me. They gave me an invitation to join them on their board meeting Zoom call. So I'm going to do that here coming up in a week or two. So looking forward to that. Hung out with a wheelchair user support group over at Rolling Start.
Nice.
Got an invitation from their systems advocate over at Rolling Start, Christine, to join her advocacy call. So looking forward to doing that too.
Doug's popular.
Something else I need to do. And these things don't take that long. It's probably 20 minutes or something. So
cool.
And I'm retired, and I got time to fill. So I miss an episode of Catfish. That'll be all right.
Oh my goodness.
And the big news
Yes.
is we may have reunited another couple.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Because that's how Addie and I reconnected. She
Correct.
saw me on a post for Abilities Expo, and could that be the same knucklehead? And
Could that be the
turned out
Doug
it
that I know?
Yeah,
Let me be a weirdo and find out.
So Judy Diaz, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the first guest outside of, we did me first. I retold my story as we kind of relaunched this, and then we told Eric's story, Eric Aguilar, who was our co-host for the first year or so. And then I believe she told her story, was the first episode outside of
She's the
us.
first guest that counts. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
And then probably a year or so later, it's probably 6-8 months ago, that Eddie Flores came on. Well, she heard his episodes, and I know an Eddie Flores, and so they reconnected. So, oh man, that
Yay,
warms my heart.
buddy.
Yeah, hopefully
I know, right?
we'll do more of that as well. So, all righty. Well, today's episode, want to say hi and thank you to Steve Campbell, who was on last week. Thank you for sharing your story, Wild Man.
I know, that was awesome.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, here, he was later in life that he became injured, but still doing, those kind of, I hate to say daredevil things, but,
But they are daredevilish things.
Yeah.
Adventurous. Let's say
adventurous stuff. I like that better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And post-injury, he still, is out there riding his hand cycle and doing all those things. So
totally.
what we always say, he is the proof of it, that your personality doesn't change, post-injury. That person is still in there. Just
exactly.
ready to
These
thrive
bodies
again.
are boxes. These bodies are boxes for our spirits.
Yeah,
I stand by it.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk with another strong spirit today, Pilar Cole. I used to work with her at Rolling Start when I was I was the board member, and then I became interim director for a short time, and she was our systems change advocate. She's a strong woman, and we're going to hear her whole story coming right up. And also want to ask you to like, subscribe, and share your stories, share your thoughts, whatever you want. Drop us a comment. We'd love to hear that as well. So we'll be back right after this word from Agyar Professional Training.
At Agyar Professional Training, we know that your greatest asset is your team. Investing in their development, knowledge, and happiness is essential for your business's success and growth. To achieve new heights, it's important to hire intelligent, talented individuals and empower them to excel in their areas of strength and passion. Agyar is committed to transforming your employees into happier, more productive, and fulfilled individuals. When your team thrives, your business prospers. Wise leaders understand that providing team members with opportunities to shine in their strengths unlocks untapped potential. Elevate your team with Agyar Professional Training and witness the growth of your business. From the Agyar Professional Training Studios, you're listening to Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories.
Tuesday, new day, new guess, let's say. Tuesday, new day, new guess, let's say. We've told a lot of stories, there's been so many glories. We've seen incredible changes, each with beautiful ranges. yeah. Addy too. It's another Tuesday, and we're going to do it. Tell another disability story, a walk and roll life story.
You are listening to Walk and Roll Live. You probably knew that. Hey, we appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share all that good stuff. Love to hear from you, too. If you want to drop us a message, we'd love to hear from you. Today, we've got another one of those great disability stories. And this is an old friend of mine, and we'll let her introduce herself to get us started.
I'm from San Bernardino, California. I was born in Los Angeles, but I was raised in San Bernardino.
Pilar Cole, nice to have you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I met Pilar. Gosh, it's been closing in on 10 years ago, Pilar. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
We worked together at Rolling Start, which is an independent living center. We've talked about it a few times here. And then I moved on, and shortly after that, you moved on, and now I know you're with another independent living center in Riverside, Community Access Center, right?
Yes.
And you're the systems change advocate. That's what you were doing at Rolling Start too, right?
Correct.
Yeah. We'll probably get to that and get a little explanation of that, because I'd love to hear more about that, because it's something we again we talk about from time to time, advocacy for folks in our community to advocate for themselves, to gather together when we need more power and advocate together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More voices, yes.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that, but I just want to get to know you a little bit. What were you like in your younger days, pre-injury days?
Okay, 20 plus years ago, I was raised in San Bernardino, and from on up all the way to adulthood. And my mother got sick, and I ended up moving my family to Arizona. And then when I moved to Arizona, I got in an incident with a gun, and there was a struggle, and the gun went off, and it hit me in the head, and I ended up going in the hospital and just going through long term rehabilitation to become who I am today. I was in a coma for 7 days. The doctors told my dad that if I was to live, I would be a vegetable.
Yeah.
So as I saw my daughter, and as I started getting my memory back and going through therapy and just brain this and brain that, as I watched my daughter, I just felt like I had something to fight for. There's still more for me to do. So the more and more I saw her, the more and more I was determined to just keep going, because I had to go for her. So then as I was going through my rehab, my medical insurance had went out. So the guardian I was under wasn't trying to help me get the correct medical information, the correct medical insurance. So my mom's cousin brought me back to San Bernardino where I could get the help that I needed. So I came back to San Bernardino. I got my hand and my foot fixed. I went through much therapy. I put my daughter in Head Start because she was like 3 at the time. So as she went to Head Start, I went to therapy. So I just continued to fight. As I grow, I just continue to fight, because I watched her, and I just feel inside of me there's still more for me to do.
Yeah.
So I just continued to go and go. So then I ended up going to the Department of Rehabilitation, and they sent me to Rolling Start. I was at Rolling Start.
No, at this point you were a consumer, right? It just wasn't
Yes, I was
sending
a
you there
consumer,
for a
yes.
job. Yeah.
Yes. And no, actually I was volunteering, and I was
Okay.
getting advocated, because I was in a box. I was in the shell. I was very mean. I was angry at the world because I was fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So then this one advocate named Kevin Bujo, he brought me out my box. He empowered me. He put me on the move. And then I just continued to go and go. I wasn't going to go back, but then as Kevin empowered me, I continued to just go and go and go. So then as I saw process in me, and I just continued to go, and I just continued to stay, because I blended in. They empowered me to become who I am today. They made me understand advocacy. They gave me understanding to my story because everyone has a story.
Yeah.
So they empowered me because that's what the Independent Living Center does.
Kind of empowered you to empower others, right, Pilar?
Yes, an advocate, and they just give you a voice to speak up. And I've been fighting ever since.
Yeah. So you kind of learned to turn that fury into fuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, I almost feel like we can, ask you what's for the future and wrap up our interview. But, you
Right.
kind of went through it all very, very quickly. But I'd like to, maybe get a little more of the, drill down, get a little more detail, because you almost made it sound easy. But I know it was a real.
No, it's not easy. It's still
right?
not easy. It's still not easy. I still face challenges, but I still have to stand. I watch my daughter, and I never told you, Doug, I have a 3-year-old grandbaby.
Oh, congratulations.
Awesome.
Yes, I have a
So the fire
granddaughter, and
continues
she
in the
really
future
keeps me going.
generation.
Yeah.
Say that again, ma'am.
I said, so the fire continues in the future generation. You just got a new little fire.
Yes. And I had to tell Doug because Doug met my daughter. So
Yeah.
I had to tell him, yes, I have a granddaughter now. And my granddaughter, she's a warrior. She
fun.
don't
Got her
stop.
grandma's spunk.
Yes, she don't stop. She is a warrior. So the more and more I watch her and the more and more I watch my daughter, I'm just empowered. I feel like can't nothing stop me, can't nothing hurt me. I have to stand. I didn't come this far to be broken, so I just have to stand. And I tell a lot of people that I come across not to give up. Don't lose hope. Keep on going.
But there was a time, 'cause I know you fairly well, and we've talked a number of times. There was a time where you were kind of giving up, right?
Oh, yeah, I almost did.
Yeah.
But the more and more, my daughter is not going to let me give up.
Is that who you attribute it to? Your daughter? Is she the one that kind of?
Yeah, she's not going to let me give up. And a lot of people, I feel like if I can get through what I got through, I can empower and help someone else. So when I'm out there in the field, when I empower somebody and I put a smile on somebody's face, somebody that's broken, I did my job. I did my purpose.
Right.
When you've been given a purpose, can't nobody take it away from you. So I just feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I imagine that kind of restokes your fire too. If it's starting to go out a little bit, you have a success like that, and you're like, okay, I'm in the right place, doing the right thing, and continue, right?
I'm looking at life a whole different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I worked with Pilar for quite a while, and slowly but surely we got to know each other and spent more time and chatting. And, I didn't know the nature of her disability really, or her injury. And, then through our conversations, it kind of came out that she was, that she was a big victim of a gunshot wound. And, like, oh man, and I learned a little bit more about her. And, and then as time would go by, I know I'd hear stories about her family and her husband and all of that, and her family, and moving from back here from Arizona and all that. And then at one point I started to put a few things together that she said, and I hope you don't mind me revealing this, but I think it's a powerful part of your story and a powerful part of who you are, because I found out that it was your husband is the one that was the, perpetrator, but you were still with him. And it took me a while
Yes,
to kind of
I am.
and
That's
still with him
years.
now, right?
30 plus years.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that process?
I mean, all we could do is just listen to stories because people talk, because you got to be in my shoes, and you got to know the story. If you don't know the story, you really shouldn't talk.
Right.
But there's a whole bunch of stories and people talk, and sometimes you got to watch what you say, because once you say those words, can't take them back because you already said them. You already kind of broke that person, so you got to watch what you say. So to me, when people talk and they don't know the story, I have to stand. I have to stand up for myself.
Good.
Right.
And you know what? I'm more interested in that part of it. How you came to forgiveness, and and that's a powerful message, I think.
And peace about it.
Yeah, you got to know the story.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you got to know the story. Everybody has one.
Gotcha.
You got to know the story, because I feel like if it was intentionally the way everybody think and the way everybody say, I really wouldn't be here.
Right, right. So
you just got to know the story.
It was an accident.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm
So
glad.
And
curious,
it
Pilar,
wasn't
when you-
only on one person. Also, it was two people involved. You got to remember. So
Yeah.
it
I'm
was a
curious,
fight
Pilar,
that
though,
I
when
don't
you
even
had
have the answers for the. I don't even have the answers for the fight. I just know I'm still standing and I'm still here. And the way that I remember and what I view, you got to know the story before you could talk.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and it's
Life gives you a reset button. The universe sometimes says,
yeah,
"This
yeah,
is
that's
not
what I
how
was
it's
gonna
going to
say.
go. You have a bigger purpose. You won't find it. If A doesn't happen, B will never happen."
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I think
Yeah,
she's
you
found
gotta
it.
know the
You know,
story.
that's a testament to, that God has a plan.
yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. I'm not standing for nothing. And I'm still under construction. He's not done with me.
Right.
I liked it.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
He's like, "Good try. Get up tomorrow. Let's do something else."
Yeah.
I'm curious. You were in a coma for 7 days. When you awoke, did you recognize people? Did you know your daughter was your daughter?
Oh,
Did you
no.
kind of know where you
I was
were?
in peace. I was in peace. I was asleep. I recognized my dad and my daughter. They never left my side.
Mhm.
And I remember because I had just got my hair French braided, and I remember them shaving all my braids off, and I remember struggling. I remember like as if it was yesterday. It's like I said, I don't have the answers for everything. I just know that I'm still standing for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I just know sometimes brain
I
injuries.
don't even know why it happened, but it happened. And there's nothing I could do about it because those are days you can't get back. So
Water under
just
the bridge.
thankful to be here, to be able to watch my daughter turn 33 and to be able to watch my grandbaby.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
Amen.
Life goes on
So-
and evolves. I just know sometimes with brain injuries, it's hard to place where you are kind of in the universe. You're not sure who's
Oh, yes,
who.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm full of joy. Every morning I come to work, just like when I used to work at the other center, I have a smile on my face because I'm just full of joy. And everybody has a story.
So tell us a little bit about the role that, that therapy played in your recovery, physical and emotional.
I started my rehab and therapy at Good Samaritan Hospital in Arizona. And it was draining. It took all my energy. I just continued. I just know I had to go. And it was really heartbreaking if I would have stayed in Arizona and got the therapy and everything that I needed, I wouldn't be standing the way that I am today.
Yeah.
Because my insurance had ran out from where I used to work at the airport out there. And my insurance had ran out, and my siblings wasn't trying to improve me. It seemed like they was trying to keep me in that box.
Mm-hmm.
But my cousin, my loving cousin, he lives in Sacramento. He brought me back to San Bernardino to my mom's house to get the help and the therapy that I needed. And I've been taking off ever since. But like I said,
sure.
I got back. I had two or three surgeries. I put my daughter in Head Start very early. She went to school while I went to therapy to get better so I could take care of her.
Yeah.
Mm.
So at one point you couldn't walk, right? After you came out of the coma?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you had to relearn all of that.
I've been
over
in a
again.
chair. I've been stuck. I remember I never forget when my chair got stuck in the elevator. That really traumatized me because I do not like elevators.
Oh man.
I still don't like them. I get in them now, but I still just don't like them.
Yeah. It's like, just let this trip be over fast.
You're like, I can't stay in a chair because I cannot stand elevators.
I do not like elevators. I get on them. I don't like escalators neither, but I mean, I get on them if I have to, but I don't like them.
Escalators are a little tricky.
That's part of my fear right there. My fear is getting in the elevator. Even though I have to get in them, period,
Yeah.
I still have fear in my heart when I get in them.
Yeah.
So do you remember any kind of key moments along the way where there were, well, obviously your daughter, as we have already learned, but there are people that kind of helped you shift your mindset a little bit and continue your road to recovery?
Okay, I started going to church with my godmother.
Mm-hmm.
and I was going in a women's group, and I just got really more even empowered more. I got understanding to my story because sometimes in life things happen and you don't know why they just happen. Everything is just like life.
Yeah,
sometimes you get put in a position you don't have no answers for.
It's something that comes out of these stories that we tell here on Walk and Roll Live is that it just seems like so many times that a lot of people's lives experiences kind of prepare them in some fairly unique ways to deal with what they, ultimately have to deal with. And it just speaks to a higher power. You can't think it's anything less, right? It's too much to be coincidence.
I went to a lady's house last week, and the lady, she was like, I would never take walking for granted again in my life.
Yeah.
And I had to empower her because things happen. We don't have the answers to everything. Everything is just life, especially now these days we living in. You try to run away from negative, and it comes to haunt you and find you. You just got to stand and try to be positive. And if somebody is making you feel negative, then you don't need to be around that person.
That's right. Yes, you have every right.
Find some better company.
Away. Yeah.
Find somebody that's going to empower you, that's going to lift you up. Not nobody that's going to bring you down and make you miserable.
So tell us about the transition from being a volunteer, and then becoming a systems change advocate.
I didn't even know what that was. It took me a long time to figure out what that is too, because I wear so many different hats.
Yeah.
When I first got hired there, I didn't know what it was. So system change is a lot. One person can't just change the system. It has to be a group of people.
Yeah.
To change the system. It requires letter writing. It requires phone calls. It requires getting out on the field. It requires building relationships. It depends what you're trying to change because every person's disability is different and every change you're trying to make is different. So system change is a lot.
You're building an army of people, right, to fight with you?
Say that again?
Says you're building an army of people to fight with you.
Yeah, it has to be a group of people. Right now it's phone calls, and right now our center is ran through grants and donations. So I'm doing more with getting rid of emergency prepared go backs to help people to prepare them in case of an emergency, because we never know when the emergency is going to occur. So we are distributing emergency preparedness go back to any individual that uses any kind of medical dual equipment, CPAP machine, a ventilator, anything that uses electricity. And the key is they have to be a Southern California Edison consumer, and it's to promote the medical baseline program. So we've been working a lot with that, and our center is real special when it comes to ramps.
Yeah.
We do so many, I can't keep up with it all.
Yeah. Leonard over there, right?
Yes, Leonard is our AT coordinator. He does everything when it comes to assistive technology, him and Mr. Luke. Wheelchairs, ramps, anything with technology. I'm not good at technology. I fight with the computer because the computer works faster than my brain. So I could do the basics, but when it comes to getting to the nitty-nitty, I have to fight with the computer. So sometimes I have to walk away from it because, like I said, it moves faster than my brain.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a pro at that part.
Get out of here.
Get out.
Yeah.
I'm not a pro at that part.
I've had my, times when I want to just throw mine out the window. Yeah.
Oh, my grandbaby, she has a little laptop, and when she gets back, when it dies out, she just throws it.
She's like,
she just throws it no matter where it is. That's why we have to keep it charged, because she will throw it down.
That's good.
So how do people get identified to work with you, or how do you identify them as, somebody you're going to speak to and motivate or whatever, help?
Well, they usually call us, or meet them at an outreach, or like right now, I'm at the I have a table set up here at the library. I go to a lot of libraries out here. I go to a lot of community centers. We cover all Riverside County, so I kind of move around a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's
And
a
before you got into advocacy, were you bubbly and like, did you like people? Did you interact with people? Or is this a new personality change that has kind of been born of doing
Yeah,
the
when
work?
it comes to advocacy here, it's a little different. Like I worked on advocacy when they call and they have a complaint, and we'll go out there and then we'll give them the tools to use to make the change. And most of it has been successful.
Mhm.
And most of it has been successful with letter writing and making phone calls.
Perfect.
what's kind of a
I go to a
typical
lot of
thing?
community meetings to make sure that people is included, to make sure people with disabilities like myself is included
Yeah.
into society, which is included into everything. We don't want to be left out. We want to be a part of regular. Like I lived a regular life and I'm living a life now. I'm aging with a disability. So my job is to empower someone and help them advocate and bring them out the box and help make change.
Is there a kind of a typical thing that somebody comes to you that is seeking help to change something in their life?
For what you talking about, the only big thing that happened was when a couple called. They lived on the hill in, I think is it Menifee? And they were having problems because their trash can the trash man wouldn't pick up. They were both chair users, and the trash man wouldn't pick up their trash because it was on the wrong side. So we had to advocate to make sure that their trash got picked up, because we had to make it accessible for them to be able, because it was dangerous for them to go out on the street.
Yeah.
So
Right,
now
right.
we advocated for them where they'll go pick their trash can up and bring it out for them. So we did a couple heavy ones, and it was successful.
My trash company, they come up to the house and get mine and take it down to the truck, and pick it up with the arm and throw it into the truck.
That's
and then
what they do now
and
for
they
this
bring it
couple.
back
Yeah,
up to the house. Yeah, they do it all
That's
the time.
that's
awesome.
what they do now for this couple in Menifee.
Wow, it took
But
me
it
one
took
phone
some
call. You had to
voicing.
fight for it, huh?
Yeah, it took some
Oh, yeah.
voices, and like I said, letter writing, going to whoever covered that area. They made it happen, though.
Yeah, that is
A lot
awesome.
of people today, with what's happening, they're scared to speak up
Right.
because they're either scared they're going to lose their benefits. They have fear in them. So sometimes you got to just take that risk.
Yeah. Do
But so far, everything's been fine.
you get a chance to advocate for people with TBIs that that you got to relate to that kind of
They
extra
come to our
special?
center. Yeah, we have it's a group of TBIs that come to our center.
That's awesome. What kind of things are they challenged by?
Just not remembering and not just being included. Like memory loss and not being included.
Yeah. And is there ways that they can, kind of fight for help out there where they go, where they can get some
Well,
accommodations?
basically now from there we got them connected to where they could get a machine to help them. We refer them to. That's what our center does. We do a lot of referring.
Yeah.
Like the Aging and Adult Services have some program where they could get a free laptop to help them.
Very nice.
It's a lot of we do a lot. We do so much different stuff. I can't keep up with it all because I'm most. And then some of it is not my department, so some of it goes to the specialist or to our AT tech. We do so many different stuff. I can't keep up with it. I'm mostly out in the field.
And
Mostly out in the field or at an outreach.
And there's always new things that come up, new situations come up.
Yes, it don't change.
Yeah. Have to figure out how to address it, right?
Something all new. Yeah. It's always something new being updated or something coming. Like my daughter is going to school for nursing. She got to stay in there because the system changes.
Yeah.
The technology changes. It's always something new.
So anybody, or do you have any messages for anybody that's listening to you, has heard
Don't give up. Don't lose hope. If you want something, you go get it. Chase after it till you get it. Don't lose hope.
Do you still have to kind of maintain? Do you still do any physical therapy and that kind of thing?
No.
No. Just your days living is your therapy, huh?
Yes. I wear an AFO. I'll be wearing it for the rest of my life. That's my best friend. and I still have my technology that I use.
Yeah.
I wear a splint at nighttime to keep my hand where it don't get contracted. I still have my tools to keep me going.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to
But
tell you, there's
my
no
message
slowing
is
Pilar
just-
down. That's
Yes,
for sure.
no, and then my message to people: just don't lose hope. When you want something, you go get it.
All right. Well, if they are losing a little hope, how do they get a hold of you?
How did they get a hold of me?
Yeah.
Tell them to call. Get my information from you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, get my information from you. And just empowerment. It's all about empowerment and inclusion and equity.
Well, I think it's there already, but I'll put on we have a page for resources, and I'll make sure Community Act Center is on there. And once you get there, you'll be able to find Pilar, right?
Yes, empowered. Yes, empowerment. That's what it's all about.
Very nice.
No one left behind.
Well, we've got one last question that we ask all of our guests. So no disrespect. We ask everybody this question, and it kind of is a conversation starter. If you can use it in your work, we give you permission because it just turned out.
Our question.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's really a great thought starter, conversation starter. So I'm gonna let Addie pose the question to you.
Okay. So the question is, how long does it take to put on pants, socks, and shoes for you?
Say that again.
How long does it take you to put on pants, socks, and shoes for you?
Oh, now you're talking about somebody slow, huh? They called me a snail at my house, but it take me to get ready when I wake up to get ready for work in the mornings. You got to give me at least probably an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. It depends because I done got older now. My arthritis is done kicked in, so
It just
now
adds
I'm
to
really
it.
slow.
Right?
Yes, now I'm really slow.
Hey, they
But
say
yes,
slow and
Mr.
steady wins the
Arthur.
race.
Say that again. Yeah,
They
Mr.
say
Arthur
slow
done
and steady
kicked
wins
in.
the race.
Yes. Mr. Arthur done kicked in now. Now I'm on his time. So, and when it's cold, it really hurts.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're not alone.
Yes, it
like,
really
Amen,
hurts.
I'm
Yeah,
part of
and
that
it ain't
club.
no cure for it neither. So
No.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
All right. Well,
But I
thank
take
you.
it one day at a time.
That's all we can do, right?
That's all.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're having some pretty good days.
One day at a time and walking on faith.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, kind of standing still for a moment to come and talk to us. We appreciate it. Continue your good
And I'm
work.
honored, and I'm honored, and I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Pilar Cole, Community Access Center here on Walk and Roll Live.
Each week on Walk and Roll Live, we share honest and open stories of people living with a disability.
And when we landed at the rooftop of the hospital, I was pronounced dead. At some point in time, it even got to the point where doctors told my parents that, there was really nothing they could do anymore, but just wait and see. And my mom even said that people from the morgue was coming to see her. And
Join us weekly for another powerful episode. Walk and Roll Live, wherever you get your podcasts. Life, limitless. Subscribe now.
I love this story because it teaches us about an and then. Like, what do you do after something happens? And I know Doug talks a lot about it, but like my plot twist society is always that. What are you going to do with your and then? So I love hearing these and then stories. This is a anthology of and then. What do you do? And not just sit down and cry about it. Yes, have your moment, but move beyond that. And then what do you do with the rest of the pages in your book? So
as we've done this over the last almost 2 years now, I started to struggle a little bit with just, are we just telling these stories over and over and over again? Because the format is kind of the same. But for me, and I hope it is for the audience too, they're so different within that same, every person is different. I used to say snowflakes, and I think it was Tom Conaway from Live to Roll. He was telling me that we're like fingerprints. I like that better.
Yeah.
I like that
because
better.
you have every.
Just so unique. Everyone, how people deal with it, how people come back from it, how people don't change in their personality from it. Yeah.
Yeah, how it transforms them. Like what I love too, and especially in this story, is the healing and grieving process and the forgiveness process. Because I think that no matter how your injury occurs, or if you're born this way like me or whatever, there still is an evolution of like, how do I mentally calculate this scenario? And I love that this story kind of shows everybody's different. And we all, as an independent human being, have a choice about how we deal with it and like where we take it. And the rest of the world kind of can't tell us, no, you do this.
I think that's one of the most important things. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I love about this story, and you having a platform to tell these stories it's a rainbow. Yeah. It's a rainbow of.
I love it. I mean, just, reconnecting people, all the different aspects to it are just awesome. So anything exciting coming up for you?
It's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. So a 3-day work week. You get older, you don't care about the presents and the stuff. I typically try to take 2 days off near my birthday so that I end up with a 4-day weekend or like some time off. And so I'm like literally etching the seconds into my desk as I get done. So that I just don't have to wake up. I don't have to have a schedule.
That's the exciting thing. Yeah.
I could live a retired life like Doug for 4 days.
So are you doing anything like dinner, or you're not going on a little trip or anything?
Well, we were going to do a trip, and then we decided who wants to sit in the car for that long. So I'm actually dragging my husband back to the dogs at the pet store. I told him he had to go with me for 2 hours and not be cranky about it. And then we're going to go. Yeah, it's my birthday. I can do what I want. And then we're going to go have cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory. Like a little old lady, I've been printing out all my birthday coupons. So I'm going to see how many free things I can get in that 4-day span.
Go for it. So when you go, do you have something in mind at Cheesecake, or because they have so many choices, or are you going to try something new?
I'm probably going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because I got what I thought I liked last time. And then I was like, oh, this is a disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
You know how you do that? You talk it up in your head.
Yes.
Then you eat it and you're like, okay, well, that was a waste.
Yeah.
A waste of calories. But, on your birthday, no calories count. So I could just keep ordering pizzas, I guess. I don't know. What about you?
Got to indulge yourself sometime, right? Might as well be on your birthday.
Dogs and cheesecake sounds like a good day to me.
Yeah.
How about
absolutely.
You?
Nothing is sticking out right now. I'm sure there's something where I know tonight I'm going to dinner with another group of people that they're kind of the car show folks that I've met. Yeah. And they
car show cronies.
They've been doing it for a while. I guess they meet every Tuesday for dinner. So I've kind of gotten in with them. And so it's fun. Just
nice. Now that your chicken's all gone, you can go out to dinner.
Yeah. 4 tons of chicken. So yeah, there's probably a couple more. I think I got a board meeting actually for Rolling Start this week too. So
okay.
I'll keep busy. I'll keep myself off the streets.
Yeah. Don't worry. Doug's busy.
Yeah.
I'm unhermiting for the birthday weekend. Doug's constantly out there. Maybe we should just trade spots for a few days.
And then next week we have Nico Best. I met Nico last year at the Adaptive Sports Fair that Burbank, the city and the Parks Recreation of Burbank, put on last year, and didn't really get a chance to talk with him. But this year went back and had a chance to talk with him, and then saw him at the Abilities Expo and said, this guy's energy is great. Got to have him on. So so he'll be on with us next week.
Looking forward to it.
All right. And, we're always putting new resources up on the webpage. Actually, I kind of did a whole revamp of the website. So go check it out. What do you think? Tell me what you think. walkandrolllive.com. All right. Have a good week. Happy birthday.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Send us mail, people. We like it. Like, subscribe, download, do all those things.
You got it.
Press all the buttons.
And most of all, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Doug Vincent, along with Addie Rich from the Aguiar Professional Training Studio. This has been Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories, Life Limitless.